wasn't your fault that you had to be in almost complete darkness all the time. You actually really liked being in bright places. Though you sort of forgot what they looked and felt like. It was also kind of hard to take care of yourself. Either you went to the store looking like a suspicious and stupid idiot covering everything up, or having someone else do it for you. You opted for the someone else option. But there wasn't exactly someone who was willing to buy things for people with restricting gifts in the business at the moment. So one day while you were scouring the interwebs for a roommate, you stumbled upon the Port Mafia. Or the Port Mafia stumbled upon you. You got an email from someone named Mori in Octagawa and told you that they needed someone to join because someone had just left their ranks. So of course you thought, hey, it's a job, I'll get something out of it. And you did by getting a supply of cash and a new coat. No clue what that was for. You also got your so-desired roommate, even though he wasn't exactly the person you had imagined. Chuuya was always loud, kind of annoying, and came back super late at night. Well, maybe the coming back late wasn't an issue because you could see him the best you could in the dark. Tonight was the latest he had ever come back. 24:56. He had frickin' left you with nothing for almost 14 hours. Good job, Chuuya. Look, it's not my fault that they have to be stuck in the dark all the time. You heard a muffled voice say. Judging by the annoyed tone, you assumed it was Chuuya. You sat in defeat and waited for the door to open. The knob turned open along with the door, and you grimaced and moved the blanket that was around you to shield yourself from the light that now flooded your apartment. You always hated that overhead door light. It was always on. Why are you still awake? He asked once he saw the lump of a futon on the couch. Last I checked, you weren't the administrator of bedtimes. You quietly shocked because it had been at least 5 hours since you last spoke. Is that your new partner? A different voice asked, and stepped beside Chuuya. Yeah. He clicked his tongue. Put it on the table. You said from the futon, and you didn't see, but he rolled his eyes with a small smile. You didn't really care for the second person. Could you close the door? You asked the new being, and he looked at you. He put on a confused look and looked to Chuuya for assistance. You're such an idiot, Dazai, you know that, right? They can't be in the light because their ability will turn on, and then they'll go crazy. Chuuya snapped at him. Shut up. You growled and glared at him while he got shocked for a sec, but then clicked his tongue again. Oh, so you mean like how... So when you use corruption, I have to stop you? The person named Dazai smirked while he closed the door. Darkness filled the room again as Chuuya tried to tear Dazai's throat out while you got up and raised the bag that Chuuya had brought back for anything that looked good. You grabbed a bag of pretzels and sat back down on the couch minus the futon. You just watched as the two of them quietly tussled and were careful not to knock anything over because Chuuya knew your wrath when he broke something. Darkness upgraded your scariness level by a lot. You looked at the clock and it read 0:34. You should probably stop them. Oi, quit it. You said, but they didn't hear you. Hey, I said stop. You got louder this time, but they still ignored you. Drastic times call for drastic measures. You walked to the fridge and grabbed a water bottle. You went over to the knives and stabbed a hole in the lid. You walked back over to the guys who had now had each other by their ties, and you sprayed them with the cold water. Commander Freeze says to chill out. You said and they immediately stopped. What was... Chuuya started, but you sprayed him again. Daozai started to laugh, but you sprayed him too. Both of you stop it and shut up. Don't you need to go back to your... wherever you came from? You asked Daozai, and only then did he realize the time. Oh crap, you're right! Kudiki would be pretty suspicious if I wasn't where I'm supposed to be. Bye, Chuuya and partner! He said and completely forgot about your gift and just carelessly opened the door to let the light in. Both yours and Chuuya's eyes widened as he quickly bolted to the door and slammed it closed. He sighed in relief and slid down the door. You sighed too, but then laughed. What? He asked with a small glare. There's like a 6-second drag before it turns on, dumbass. You laughed and put your hands in your pockets. Well, that's 2 little seconds. He shot and put his head on the door. Ugh, I'm wet. Thanks for that. He looked at his shirt and then at you. You walked over and took his hat to put it on your head and walked back to the couch for like the 4th time. Chuuya got up muttering something about being wet and having to wash everything and went to his room. You looked around and noticed that they messed up some stuff. With a groan, you got up to fix anything that Daozai and the ginger messed up and put the stuff back and put the stuff that was in the bag away. Putting the stuff took longer than you thought. You got a lot of shiz. After you put the last thing away, you remembered how tired you were. Just as you were walking to the couch, Chuuya came out of his room in some dry clothes and apparently had the same destination as you. While he was falling to sit, you were falling to lay down, and when you had both landed, you ended up in his lap. When he noticed that extra weight, he looked down at you. You knew you should have moved, but you were too tired, so you fell asleep. Chuuya sighed and leaned back. I seriously don't know what the hell to do with you, he said with a smile and stroked your hair. He thought of one last thing before falling asleep too. Maybe coming back late was a good idea after all.